New York Mayor Eric Adams has allegedly lied about a photo of a fallen police officer he claimed that he kept in his wallet for years.
Adams has regularly told a story about how he's kept a photo of a fallen police officer who died in 1987, Officer Robert Venable, in his wallet for decades. But after the New York Times asked to see it, his staff created it, according to the New York Times. Quote, the employees were instructed to create a photo of Officer Venable. According to a person familiar with the request, a picture of the officer was found on Google. It was printed in black and white and made to look worn as if the mayor had been carrying it for some time, including by splashing some coffee on it, said the person who spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of retribution.
That's pretty funny.
So I used to do this. They
poured coffee on it and crumpled it up.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with old treasure maps. And so I would do exactly this with a piece of A4 paper. I would draw a map. I would put some coffee or tea on it.
I'm listening.
I would burn the edges so it looked, I had that like, I don't know, treasure map quality. Sometimes I would leave it in the back seat of the car so it would get yellowed in the window over time. I would really commit to this bit. And I'm really upset that the forensics that I did on A4 printer paper as a 6, 7-year-old were being deployed by people in the mayor's office to cover up a lie he's been telling about how much he loved some fallen police officer.
I too make a lot of maps of fictional fantasy lands for my Dungeons and Dragons
you might like
adventures. I don't try to, that's singeing the pages. I don't think I've done that since I was a kid. One of my history teachers, I think, made us pretend you were in some war. Maybe it was the Revolutionary War, and you're writing a letter to your family or something, and I like spilled ketchup on it because it was like my dying letter. Anyway, so I understand the vibe, totally get it.
But this is the thing, of all people to have to kind of do the stolen valor thing and demonstrate how much they love police officers, I mean, Eric Adams was a cop.
Yeah, I'm sure he knows people. I'm sure he knows police officers who were slain in the line of duty.
Like why? This
you don't need
feels
to
like an unforced error.
Yeah. Well, it's a reminder that politicians lie. They lie. They lie. They lie. They lie. They lie.
Just
you
impulsively.
Need to lie about this. You could cite the story of someone you knew who died in the line of service and how sad it is and how bad it is and et cetera. You don't need to say you keep a picture of them, and like it's a pretty bald. You're gonna get called out on it, right? Well, let's see the picture. My staff have to get my wallet.
I mean, you're better off just saying like I carried it around so long it fell apart.
Right, like my Social Security card. No, it's serious. It was in my wallet, and it got all frayed, and then like disintegrated, and now I don't know what my Social Security number is.
It's also it's a little weird. Like there are very few people who I think it's normal to carry their photo around in your wallet. There are many people who I admire and respect, but who I still wouldn't carry their photo around in my wallet. You know, like I love my best friend. I'm gonna carry his photo around in my wallet. That just starts to feel weird.
I have a photo of my high school girlfriend in my wallet.
Well.
And I'm married to her now.
Okay, I'm about to say, I want to talk to your wife about that one.
It's her.
Okay, fair enough. But that's my point. You normally keep very intimate, your wife, your kids. That's wallet territory. Sure. It's like saying, I loved this. I loved an officer who fell in the line of duty so much that I have his ashes on my mantle. It's like, why? Give those back to his family. Why are you? It starts.
Well,
to
the photo is not.
No, it's not like that. But it's a weird kind of intimacy that doesn't seem necessarily wholly appropriate. I'm just saying it's a bizarre lie.
Speaking of bizarre New York-related developments.
Yep, oddballs all the way down. The latest news out of the de Blasio camp is that the de Blasios are not going to be getting divorced, but they will be opening up their marriage and seeing other people. Now, I saw some folks making jokes along the lines of this was a long game for Mayor de Blasio, who basically ran for mayor just so that he could wrangle it, that he could get a news post sent to everybody in New York announcing that he was single and ready to mingle on the market. Many people.
How old is he? He's 62. I would think, well, what do? I would think re-entering the dating pool in your 60s would not be an experience one would be eager to take on, but who knows, what's going on in people's lives. Maybe it's not motivated by him. Maybe it is. Maybe it's mutual. Who knows? Not our business. Just kind of funny, so we're pointing it out. But
sure,
wish them all the happiness separately or together or in whatever construction they want happiness?
So the part of the speculation has to do with the fact that when de Blasio met his wife, McCrae, she was a lesbian and didn't date men at all, but she made his pitch. You know,
really,
he got her. You know, he did the thing that many men claim that they can do, and very few are successful. But he flipped her, but apparently not in a permanent way because they're opening their relationship back up again at this time.
Wait. I missed that detail. She was self-described as
lesbian. Yes, at the time that they met.
Okay, then. Well, that's certainly interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
they have children together.
Yes, two. Dante and I forget the daughter's name. But there was a part of why this story also kind of went viral is that the nature of the New York Times alert was so specific. It specifically read, Bill de Blasio, the former New York City mayor, and Shirley McCrae are separating. They're not planning to divorce, they said, but will date other people and continue to share the Park Slope townhouse. So I think that was just evocative of maybe just like this much too much detail about their lives, kind of the image of them still living in the house and bringing other people back to the house.
I'm no judgment here. I don't care.
It just felt like, why are we learning this? Why do I need to learn this?
The New York Times told us, I guess.
Well, I'm sure they had to tell the New York Times on some level. The New York Times
didn't have to. They could have just done what they do.
I think that in their defense, I think there was a whole article about it. They gave, but I think if they didn't explain the decision they were mutually coming to about how they were going to handle the separation, it would be difficult for the public would see them out dating other people, know that they lived together, and presume that there was infidelity. So I do understand why they had to disclose all aspects of the shift in their relationship, but it does read a little like TMI, I guess. For the public to get on your phone.
Again, no judgment. People can live in whatever polycules or multiples of whatever if they want. I don't care at all. Your business, as long as it's
the public's business. They told the New York Times. Yeah. It began with an offhand remark. Why aren't you lovey-dovey anymore? Mr. de Blasio, the former New York City mayor, asked, according to Miss McCrae, his wife. It moved quickly, both said, into this sort of urgently searching dialogue that had been necessary for years but avoided until that moment, a full accounting of their relationship, what they wanted, what they were not getting. You can't fake it, Ms. McCrae said Tuesday from their kitchen table. You can feel when things are off, Mr. de Blasio said, and you don't want to live that way.
Was the New York Times just hanging around as this this isn't live. This is them recollecting what they said about it?
Yeah, in an interview with the New York Times.
Nobody cares that much.
I'm not going to lie. They got me. I'm hooked. I care. Whether it's my business and whether I care are two different questions. But that's the story.
Are they similarly aged?
I believe so. I think they were both kind of in the organizing activisty space when they met. And they had a friendship because they were kind of working together towards shared goals. And that's how it evolved.
I feel like I was just seeing a lot of divorces on social media. Ricky Martin getting divorced from his husband.
I did see that.
And someone else, but I can't remember who I saw.
Yeah, well, feel free to read that entire piece in the New York Times. It gives some background at the beginning of the relationship. They married back in 1994 with 2 gay men officiating before reception with a super freak dance break and a heap of cannoli. I mean, this thing is detailed and very colorful. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
More Rising after this.